welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi y'all on Saturday afternoon. I think it's around 3 o'clock or so. Kind of a different time for me to do a video, but yeah, here we are. Why not? Alright, so yeah, it was a long week. I worked an extra day last weekend, so I worked last Sunday, and I had a class the Sunday before that. But anyway, and I worked an extra day during the week. I got called in. Hold that thought. Excuse me. So it's been kind of a long week, so I got a little sleep this morning when I came in. Got up and took the doggies out for a walk and got a little more sleep. My partner coming over here later. But anyway, so I thought, well, I didn't shave last night before I went to work so I could do a video. So why not go here and just do an afternoon video? And you can see I got a couple of days worth of old white stuff on there. But, well, I'll do a video and, yeah, why not? What else you gonna do? You wake up, not a whole lot going on, kind of in a lazy mood. Shave, why not? So anyway, we're digging around and everybody might know that has watched my videos for very long or whatever. I'm a huge fan of rose scented soaps. And one of the first ones I used was Taylor Bond Street Rose. This one is just about done. It's getting down nice and low. Still got a wonderful rose scent. Why don't we do that? We're talking, you can't smell it. It doesn't really, you know, everybody always, it's like, you know, a crackhead. Gotta have it, I guess. But anyway, we're going to use a Yaki boar brush, not boar, badger brush. Really pretty brush. And I don't use badger a whole lot, but there's nothing wrong with a badger brush. That Yaki's a fairly dense, nice brush. I don't have a British made brush to use when I use British shave creams, but one of these days. So to go with the British shave cream today, we're going to use an Italian razor. The Flatboy. And if you hadn't shaved with one of these, I got this one thanks to my buddy Michael, who lives not too terribly far from here. He sent me several razors over the years, and this is one of the ones the last ones he sent me. Solid brass head there. It's, Razorine, is that the company? It's Italian. And Flatboy, not to be confused with the Fat Boy, because I have one of those that I was given also. But anyway, and I think they shave really well. I enjoy the shave. If you haven't used one, it may be worth your time to fix that and use one. It may be a thing to remedy. So I was digging around. I realized I haven't used my Pashana for a while. And this is another one that someone has sent me. I think I traded something for it. Folks, don't get mad if you sent me something over the last, how many ever years we've been doing this. And I mean, it's been a lot. I got into the whole thing heavily. Although I used a safety razor when I was younger. But I actually got in the whole going through the online stuff, the web pages and everything. And back in about 2007-ish. Give or take. So we've been at this a while. Forgive me if you've sent me something and I forget who did. I think I misidentified who sent me the Williams mug the other day. And I apologize for that. But anyway, Pashana Original Aftershave. I like this. It's nice. It's kind of spicy. I do not do very well describing scents. So generally speaking, I don't even try. But it's nice. It's a little more sophisticated, a little smoother. That's what we'll call it. A little coffee in the cup, and Truth in Advertising. This is actually some Bustelo Cafe Bustelo Instant, and to make it a little more palatable, it does have a little sweet and low in it with some Irish cream liqueur. That is about the only time I don't drink coffee black is when I have Irish cream, and I'll put a little sweetener in, a little Irish cream, and I think it's really good. But anyway, I put a new blade in his old razor here because I didn't remember how old the blade was that was in it, although it was probably fine. I've got a Indian-made Wilkinson sword, the Gillette Wilkinson sword, made in India. Thank you again, the Shave Maharaja. And anyhow, so a new blade. So that's what we're going to use today. So it is now January 17th. That reminds me, need to be sure I pay my internet bill. Verizon gives me some slack every month if I don't get it paid at the first of the month, but they don't give you a whole lot of slack. They give you some slack. But anyway, me and Cox Cable around here had an argument about my bill one time. And they won. They turned my cable off and referred me to a bill collector, who still sends me a notice every once in a while about it. But anyway, so I have to use alternative means of getting the internet, and Verizon is currently what I'm using because I can't get AT&T. I use AT&T for my phone service, but better send them some money since it's the 17th already. But anyway, so, over halfway through the first month of 2006 already. Been busy with work stuff. Everything else has been pretty smooth. Quick shout out, Pop. Hope you're doing all right. Or rather, Miss Susie, would you tell Pop I hope he's doing all right? And shout out to Miss Susie too. Hadn't had a shout out to Miss Susie in a while. Gotta do that. Always a good thing. Old Dave in Kentucky, hope you're doing well. And I never hit everybody that I should hit when I start doing little shout outs. But anyway, the way it goes. Just the way it goes. Well, there's still plenty of soap in here to get a couple more shaves out of it. We're not going to have any problems getting the brush loaded up with the TOBS goodness, Taylor of Old Bond Street. And I've used several of them. I think they're just fine. I know there's people that like Trumpers better. I've got a Trumper Rose. It's really nice cream that I like. And I've got, what is it, D.R. Harris, I think is also. They're all good creams, good, nice, quality British creams. That would be one of the few reasons I would really want to go to London or anywhere like that, would be to go to some of those places and see the actual, the actual shops. But that costs a bit more coin than I'll probably ever really want to spend on traveling. We'd like to go to Australia though. I want to go see the Outback. All right, well, we're going to have that usual, not the city so much, but the Outback I think would be neat. We're going to have a usual Taylor of Old Bond Street. Nice lather. Almost effortless. The lather. Good. Yaki 24 there. And then there's no secret. Everybody looks at that and how flat it is and they think there's some big secret. And I've actually read people talking about how you have to do this and adjust that. It's like, it's just a razor, folks. Razor's a razor, blade's a blade. It's just a razor. But I can tell you it does a really good job for a two-sided thingy. It's time for fuzzy. Ignore all the neck. I got to get my neck trimmed up. Time for a haircut. But unlike, speaking of Dave in Kentucky, he does all that himself. He does his own haircuts and keeps his neck trimmed and everything. And I just haven't started doing that. And I'm not sure I'm dexterous enough to get all back on my neck, trim my neck up. Not that good. He is, I'm not. All right. And just to show you how we're going along, look at there. I can stop after one pass and nobody would notice. I mean, people aren't walking up and feeling your face. Well, not but once anyway. And if you look like you're shaved good, you are shaved good. But this, good shave. But we're still going to do our whole routine because routines are important, folks. Routines are important. Oh, I got to get it. It's cooled off. We had a cool front come through. We've had some rain off and on. It rained starting this morning early. And it was starting to rain earlier when I was walking the doggies. But I think that's probably all passed off by now. It's going to be a little bit cooler tonight than it has been. Probably down around freezing. there was a chance, they were middle of last week or the early part of last week, they were touting that there was a chance that there would be enough moisture in the atmosphere when the cold got here to see a snow flurry or two. Nothing that would stick. But even around here, seeing any snow is miraculous. So, but it didn't happen. The moisture moved out and moved through before the cold. So it wasn't enough energy in the atmosphere, is what they said. I'm not a meteorologist. I kind of think it's voodoo. Oh, but anyway. So there we go. Nice little cross the grain stuff here. And we'll be ready for our finish up. Now I saw the other day in the comments someone was talking about they use for their touch-up pass or final pass, they use the Nivea, what was it, sensitive aftershave or something like that, and it worked really well for them. So it's fun. You know, different people do different things. I try not to get too far off the beaten path a lot of times. I'm just one of those folks that, you know, I don't have to go do things weird to be happy. Some people have to do things weird to be happy. They have to be special. And there's a lot of special people running around these days if you hadn't watched the news. My golly. Ah, well. Just how it goes. And most of them aren't special in a particularly happy way. Oh, man, let's get this all cleaned up. And I'll let you show before we even do the final pass what the Flatboy did for us. Clean that up. I can tell you, you can't feel it because I'm not gonna let you get close enough to rub my face. But that's a really nice shave. New blade and a good razor. Really, really nice shave. I'm gonna dry off before I put the witch hazel on for my final pass. Right there in our little light bulb bottle. I should have bought more of those when I bought these. And I'm sure if I looked hard enough on the internet or whatever, I could find some more, but they didn't have any back at Michael's when I can't remember if it was Michael's or Hobby Lobby I bought those from. Well, I just picked me up a couple. I should have picked me up more a while back. Alright, make sure we cleaned up around them ears. I'm not sure what tonight's plans are going to entail as of yet. I don't know if me and my partner are going to go do something or I'm going to cook here. The meds are working really well for my with my diabetes. I actually saw a 99 the other day. I had 11.2 A1C when I started this adventure a month ago, and my 7-day average has come down to somewhere around 120, 122. And I did see a 99 the other day. I got excited. I took a picture of it and sent it over to my sister and my brother, and I said, "Hey, look what I got!" And I don't think they were as excited. They were happy for me, of course, but I don't think they were excited to see that 99 as I was. But I was extremely, extremely excited with it. But anyway, well, there we go. So we're going to have to start working. Not going to be able to turn down any hours. The old Ghost, my old Expedition, it's a 2001, 232,000 miles on it. Really starting to show its age. And it's an old Ford. You can work on them and keep them running. Patrick will tell you, Patrick, will tell you that, work on them, you can keep them running, and this is true. But really starting to show its age. So here, next year or so, I'm going to have to start thinking about replacing her, I think. So that's a good reason to work some overtime. Tax season coming up, and I hear we're going to get the president has signed some stuff into law for the tax stuff about giving you a break on your overtime taxes, your taxes on your overtime hours. And that is one thing. They went from increased percentage on your overtime to we're not going to tax your overtime. They did that for tips also, I understand. So you folks that work for tips, you know, that might be really good for you. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll get a little more back from my income tax this year, and maybe that'll go towards a vehicle replacement. It tickled me just to get a newer model of what I got. I've had really good luck with that old thing. But anyhow, that's our shave today. Look at there. We're going to throw a little bit of this here Pashana on. And if you haven't used it, I think even people who are a little more on the upper crust of the scent snob types, I think even those folks would like Pashana. It's a really nice scent. It's not overly powerful. And it's not like, you know, Stetson that's overly powerful. But it's a nice, spicy, and I don't mean spicy like Old Spice, but it's a nice, spicy scent. Man, that's such a good feeling shave. Look at that. Cleaned it right up. Michael, my buddy, again, thank you. I used the thing, even sent it in a one of these fancy little razor sleeves there. If you remember, the same time I got that, he sent me a Hoffert's slant. And that's a whole nother story for another day. But anyway, there we go. So I hope y'all are doing well. We've finished up our coffee and finished up our shave, so it's time to finish up our video. Y'all have a good one. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, remember, Fuzzy says, you are enough. And happy shaves to you.